It concerns circular smart cities and islands, a new model for urban sustainability, and it is actually taking us to another aspect of circularity, which concerns architectural and cultural heritage. As perhaps all of you know, the United Nations Agenda of the General Assembly for the 2030 includes, among other global goals, the one concerning sustainability of ecosystems and human settlements. And it refers to sustainable development for cities and the human settlements to render them to inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable settlements. This concerns mainly the issue of cultural heritage, which is at risk. That means the unprecedented urban growth, the exploding tourism, the uncontrolled development, the population shifts, the natural hazards and the climate crisis, the renewed sectarian conflict are leading to the loss of cities' identity. They jeopardize the future development and they deprive local communities of values. Up to now, the concept of preservation was a concept which was implying a sense of luxury. But actually today, within the climate crisis framework, what is actually happening is that preservation of identity is not a luxury. It is an economic imperative. And as Robert Merton Solow, the Nobel Prize laureate in economics, was saying, actually, if we have to run the risk of becoming all things to all people and nothing special to any, then livability is not a middle-class luxury. It is an economic imperative. Hence, we have to protect cultural identity. How and why circularity is imperative? And what is the space for circularity? What are the challenges to address? As we know, heritage safeguarding mobilizes funds from public sector at a level of 20 to 30%. Another 20-30 individuals' philanthropy sponsorship. And there is a gap of more or less the 50% of the required financing to go on with the recovery of preserving our identity. And that means we have to employ new financing tools for sustainable development. Actually, if we see heritage, economy, and society, there is a common space where we could actually deploy a full range of financial instruments on behalf of individuals and institutions as well, seeking both a positive social impact and return on investment. That means that initiating public-private partnerships, we are introducing a new concept in cultural heritage preservation, which is the concept of revenue. That means the feasible cultural heritage preservation requires projects of reuse of historic buildings, which will bring in revenue. As a capital which will be reinvested for the protection of heritage. And this is the meaning of circularity. How? We could refer mainly to UNESCO-inscribed emblematic historic cities in the World Heritage List, which is, according to the July 2017 General Assembly decision, an integrated approach essential for sustainable preservation planning and management. That means that these World Heritage cities should provide master plans for preserving their identity within the next 30 years. And the question is, how can we promote revenue developing projects? The summit of the southern countries of the European Union in Athens at 21 are actually acknowledging the need for decisive adaptation and resilience politics in line with the new EU strategy on adaptation to climate change and prevention measures in all sectors. That means including environmental and socioeconomic measures likely to address the climate challenges. From that point of view, historic cities are referring to a binary with tourism, which is the external economy, which is bringing the financial capacity to these projects, but in a way that we will have to regenerate and preserve historic cities and at the same time to protect them. We could have a look at the example of Heraklion, the Venetian fortresses of Heraklion, and then we will go to Rhodes, to the historical, the medieval city of Rhodes. Here, as you might see, we from the National Technical University of Athens, we are first assessing the risks that climate change and environment is exerting to the preservation of the Venetian fortresses, masonries. And the impact of land uses on the fortress are assigned in a way that major, minor, small, circulation activities or pedestrian or free spaces might contribute to the historical fortresses and the environment and anthropogenic activities interaction. Through a GIS application, it is possible to create a map of environmental loads and their management. And this was a master plan for changing the land uses within the urban environment and make it more resilient, more accessible to the tourists, and of course, more capable to attract external economies. That is the first approach, the resilient city, tourism development, and land use rehabilitation. In the case of the medieval city of Rhodes, we are having in front of us a case for reuse of historical buildings. First of all, concerning the resilience of a reliable master plan, we are performing the same environmental loads and land use application on GIS, and this permits us to go to a new master plan. At the same time, strategically planning, furthermore, the reuse of the historical buildings and common spaces. A project of cultural reuse has been generally developed more or less 40 years ago with the Ministry of Youth of Greece, the Municipality of Rhodes, and it succeeded not only to bring the local society into the issues of preservation, not only to attract tourism at international level to go to Rhodos for cultural reasons as well, but at the same time, it succeeded to rehabilitate and restore many emblematic places. Apart from this, it posed the question for the urban planning in order to include zones of selective development within the historic city in order to promote and permit as well the reuse of the 340 historic properties which belong to the public, to the Greek state and to the municipality. We developed a project for tourism and recreation, a project for emblematic buildings to be operated by international and other organizations to promote extroversion, the commercial use to rehabilitate traditional arts and crafts and to revive them, and of course the public housing sector concerning some of the buildings. That means among the 340 projects have been generated for restoration and the proper reuse. Here you might see the tourism reuse with circular plans for waste, for water, and for renewable energy applications. And this plan on a project schedule for the next 25 years proved to be, after the economic analysis, that it could develop a revenue of 50 million, which were required not only for the first rehabilitation of the historical buildings to be reused, but for the rehabilitation of the total historic environment of the city of Rhodes. That means we could go on with circular economy in historic cities, not only preserving, but reusing and updating into the modern use the historic background and infrastructures. And in this way, the circular economy concept could be materialized and could be integrated into the resilience risk assessment of the city and could be interoperable between economic, historical, environmental, and building data. From this point of view, we can insert this point of discussion to the circular economy efforts you are acting towards, and we are inviting you to our international conference here in Eugenidion next December from 14th to 16th, which applies to transdisciplinary, multimodal modeling and collaboration for the preservation of cultural heritage. Thank you very much. If there are any comments, questions, we have 5 minutes, I think. Okay. comments? We have to raise issues, so why not? Please.
I have a question, but I'm not quite sure I get the whole presentation correct because it's not my domain of discipline. But while integrating those monuments through circular economy methods, isn't it a risk of gentrification? Of gentrification of the cultural heritage and be drastically as a tourist attraction and may lost its monumentary
values.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This is a major question. And as I said at the beginning, we have to coordinate our activities, which are in conflict sometimes, because we want to bring in external economies, that means tourism, but at the same time, we want to manage these external economies in a way that it will be beneficiary and it won't be distracting the cultural heritage. Here we are having some very concrete weapons in our hands. First of all, the land use plan and the urban plan. That means what is occurring today. I mean, we have in the port an environmental loading of all the fuels of the boats, small and big, and the ultra yachts, and I don't know what else are coming within. We are having environmental loads exerted by the main traffic roads around the fortresses. That means, as I said, we have to manage these issues. That's why we need a land use plan. Then we need an urban plan as well within the historic city in order to manage the zones of activities, which would be the zone of tourist hotels, city hotels, etc., and amusement. That couldn't be distributed all around the historic city, because that would destroy it. We have to confine these activities. Then another type of activities, which are the commercial activities, should be distributed, but in a way that they will be at interaction with the hotel infrastructure, but will not overcover it. Or the public housing sector. There is not any concept of preservation of historic cities without local society. So we have to bring in harmony all these issues. And since the medieval city of Rhodes, through its history and its values, has presented a lot of extroversy, bringing diversified civilization in a common place, in a peaceful and common understanding, we have to develop such a sector of activities as well. For instance, it might be for tomorrow a platform of entrepreneurial activities within the three continents, Europe, Asia, Africa, which are Rhodes is in the crossroad. So that's the answer. Thank you very much. Any comment? Professor Aravosis, could we have your comment to conclude this small session, but very promising, please?
I can see from your presentation that also cultural heritage has circular economy and digital, let's say, economy side. And I think this is very important because in our conference up to now, I haven't seen any other similar presentation for cultural heritage, and I know that you are, let's say, scientifically very familiar with this, and you have focused in your research on that. I would not make a comment, but perhaps maybe you can tell us. I know you have been to also Middle East, and you have been involved in very high-level projects concerning cultural heritage. From your experience, what is your opinion that in the near future will digitalization and innovative technologies affect cultural heritage management, and how much?
Thank
For
you
example, AI, will it affect it?
Thank you for the very interesting question. First of all, when we had undertaken some 10 years ago the responsibility for a very challenging project, the rehabilitation of the Holy Edicule of the Tomb of Christ in Jerusalem, then we, for first time, used digital backgrounds through 3D documentation of the monument, an accurate documentation through photogrammetry, in order to merge and fuse all the data from civil engineering for the historic structures, from chemical engineering for the materials, from surveying engineering for the photogrammetry, from architects for the architecture, etc. So we had an integrated tool in order to assess and evaluate what was happening, to diagnose, to plan, to quantitatively and qualitatively assess quantities, develop time plans, and go on. That means that was the reason that we performed these works within 8 months or something. And that was recognized as a tool from European Union, and it was promoted as a major pilot. Κύριος Πουταχίδης. Λοιπόν, that was as a pilot recognized by EU, and even though that we developed this methodology in a fragmented way, slowly integrating it, today we could, for instance, in the case of the historic cities, work within geographic information systems and deploy all the informations we have in order to plan for the land use, urban planning, and other for resilient cities. That means digital heritage is not just to represent on a 3D level a monument or a complex or a site, but it is a weapon to integrate in an interdisciplinary way diversified data which are giving a final outcome that could be useful. And concerning AI, some 26 years ago, when within a European project we were trying to manage big data culture by AI, we promoted machine learning systems, and we selected them to be supervised, not unsupervised. An unsupervised system, that means not taking into consideration the functions between environment, materials, construction, could even in a simplistic way take us to a conclusion that maybe cement concrete might be a very good solution, which is not, because it is incompatible and it's not the suggested one for historical structures. So after you deal with a supervised system, with developing through AI, machine learning systems, then you could go without risk to unsupervised and let AI to be developed, but in a way that it will include all the know-how we have, and not in a way, out of that. So, thank you. Thank you very much. We expect you, Professor Aravosis, and all the people to the conference TMM, 14 to 16 December this year. Thank you very much. Να μου στείλετε... Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Σας ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.